Hey, what's up you guys? MotoMax here, back with another video. I'm gonna talk to you guys about this bike and basically my review on it.
Real chopper. Fuck your bitch, get a bag from it, then I never call her. Now she tripping, going crazy, nigga, tell her let her bubble. OG see me coming through and they say that's a baller. That's a baller. That's a nigga starting from the bottom, really in that order.
So I've had this bike for about 5,700 miles, 5732 on the clock, and I ride it about every day, just about every day, once or twice a day. Just whenever I'm feeling bored, I go out and ride. That's just the way I do it. I'll either ride this bike or my other bike, and on the weekends, most of the time I'll ride a different bike, or if I have friends over, I'll ride one of my other bikes, because this bike, this is my street bike, and I like to take care of her. Because this is the newest bike I have. It's a 2013. My other bikes are 06, 05. So this is the newest bike I have, and it's the cleanest bike I have, honestly. It's a really great bike. And, yeah, paid for it. It's a great bike. I mean, it does have a little bit of dings and whatnot, but it works, so why not use it, you know? That's my philosophy on that. But so here's a review of this bike for about almost 6,000 miles. If you didn't know, this is a 2013 Yamaha TW200. This bike, the gas tank, I think it's about 1.5 gallons, somewhere around there, maybe 2 gallons. On one tank, with the modifications that I have on it, it gets about 70 miles. Now, that's the way I ride it. I rev the piss out of this bike, right? And, you know, I'm not mad about the gas mileage I get, because that means that I get about, what, 40 miles per gallon, 50 miles per gallon, I think? If I get 50.5, yeah, it's about 50 miles per gallon. And that's the way I ride it. If I cruise around in 5th gear all the time like I am right now, if I go 35, I'll probably get 100 miles to the tank. When this bike was stock, with stock gearing, I got about 102 miles to the one tank. I remember that. But now with the bigger jets, it's pushing in more gas and everything, and my exhaust, sucking in more air, everything like that. It's obviously using up a little bit more gas. It's like modifying a car. You put a V8 in it, it's gonna suck up more gas. But I'm on a motorcycle, so either way, 50 miles per gallon is great. I only pay $3 a week for this thing to fill her up. I'm not mad. So something I wanted to touch on this bike is it's never given me any issues. Now, considering it's 3 years old, has 5,700 miles, and I ride the shit out of it, I'm very, very pleased with the way it's doing. Because some people I know, they do way more maintenance than I do, and their bikes are still giving them problems. And their bikes are newer than mine. My bike, I change the oil every like 1,500 miles. I haven't checked the air filter in this thing and who knows when, but I mean, I ride it on the street all the time, so that shouldn't be a big deal. And all I do is fill her up. I wash it whenever it gets dirty, like noticeably dirty, and it's pretty clean most of the time. And the bike just starts up, cold starts, no choke, all the time. Now, definitely, I do suggest getting a different set of sprockets on your bike whenever you buy the bike. Don't worry about changing the front sprocket, because it's fine the way it is. The gear ratio it has stock is very, very, very meant for off-roading, because they basically set it up so it climbs a damn tree stock. Like, what you need to do, I have a 42.2 sprocket, and I mean, I think 45 was great, but for my weight and size, I think 42 works awesome for my riding style. Because I like to go out and cruise a lot, you know. Next thing I'd like to say is, it is very light. Considering the size of the tires and the width of them, I was very surprised at how nimble and lightweight this bike felt whenever I first got on it. Because the day I left the dealership on it, I was like, wow, this is way lighter than my bike. I used to have a TW200, and that bitch was heavy. But this thing is a very small bike as well. I think the seat height is like 32 inches, something like that. so I can flat foot this bike with a bent knee. And my pants, the pants I wear are 30 length. The length is a 30. So if that says anything about my height, I'm like 5'9". People may say this bike's slow, but you guys ride Groms, and this thing's faster than a Grom, so I think it's great. Now, it's not necessary to change the handlebars, but I did it because I like the wider feel of handlebars, and I also like the strength. And I know that I was going to drop this bike a couple times, and I probably dropped it a total of 10, 15 times, mostly on dirt, and like twice on the street. Nothing serious. The handling on the bike is okay. It's mediocre. It leans over. It'll take corners like a champ, but it has permanent chicken strips on it because if you go any further, you'll eat shit because your foot will catch on the ground, and you know how that works. That is a cold-ass Tundra right there. Holy shit. Damn, I love Toyota trucks. This is my favorite. Damn, that thing's sick. Now, the styling and looks of this bike. Whenever the first thing you think when you see it is you think old. And the reasoning for that is it's been the same bike since 1987. Now, yeah, they did change the carburetor a little bit in between those years. And I think they did it for a positive note because the old one was always having problems. And basically, you can get any parts for this bike since 1987. You could put the 87 carb on it, but it's probably not going to make it any better. It might make it a little bit worse. So the styling's alright. It looks very bulky, but from the side, it looks pretty cool. The interesting thing is it's not like your average dual sport or dirt bike. The fender is right above the tire. It's not right underneath the headlight, which is pretty weird, but it actually works very, very great for deflecting rocks and sand and whatnot because it just gets kicked up right there. And I think the original purpose for this bike, since it's a big wheel, was for the sand and the beach. Now, if you look back and you Google Yamaha BW350 or BW200, I'll throw up a picture right here. This bike was definitely meant for the sand and whatnot because it's a giant tire and everything, and you could make them street legal very, very easy. Most enduros back in the day, you could make them street legal just by throwing a plate on them. But it all depends on your riding style, man. And I really like this bike. I like the styling of it. I've always liked it. I think it's a really fat tire. It looks really cool. It's got a 180 in the back. It's a 180 by 14, and I think it just looks sick. Now, I think my favorite part about this bike is how balanced it is on the rear wheel. Because of the fat tires, it makes it so balanced on the rear wheel because it's just so lightweight with the thick tires, so you just have so much control on it. And I think that's awesome that I can just cruise a wheelie this good on it. It just likes to be on the rear wheel, that's the thing. It loves it and I love it, and it's a great bike. This may be my next wheelie spot. Because it's a very smooth road. That's the mall, by the way. Basically, you guys, this bike is a great bike. It runs good, starts up all the time. It gets me from point A to point B to point C, wherever I want to go. And it's great, you know? You can take long trips, short trips, whatever the hell you want to do on it, and it'll keep going. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. I know it may have been kind of boring because I didn't go as in-depth into it as I should have. But there's not many things I dislike. The only dislikes on this bike is probably the suspension. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.